Woo! Oh my god. Welcome to another edition of Laramay's Laugh. It has been a really freaking long time. Just haven't had anything to really rant about. Been feeling pretty good. Been on vacation over the summer, not working with the kids. But oh my god, it is the fall season, which means new TV shows. And being an English teacher, I decided to venture and watch this new Sleepy Hollow Ichabod Crane thing on Fox. I should have known better because, Fox is known for the most twisted news ever. Totally Republican, right-wing, Obama is terrible, Obama is a Muslim. So I figured, they'd probably have, Ichabod Crane, considering he's white, and he's supposed to be a school teacher. I figured he'd probably have the kids pass the standardized test with flying colors, or somehow lobby for the education system to improve and require tuition, because we all know the Republicans are all about money and taxes. So I decided to watch it. I got about 2 minutes into the show, and already I deleted it. But for the sake of the episode, I'm going to continue watching it and give you kind of commentary as we go, kind of like my 50 Shades of Grey. And oh my god, did you hear that? That was Edward Cullen's motorcycle! So I'm going to watch the whole thing and give you a take on what actually happened. For the 2 minutes I've actually watched, spoiler alerts, you might as well turn this off, although these episodes already come out, so you might as well watch it first before you listen to the rest of this. I mean, I've drank like a liter of wine in my face, and I'm already just ready to go for this episode. So, 2 minutes in, already, Ichabod Crane is somehow a fucking Revolutionary War soldier with a pistol, probably like a flintlock or whatever, hiding in a tree, and the quote-unquote headless horseman is I think he had a Templar mark on his wrist, some kind of brand. It looked like a Templar brand, like the cross with the little circles on the ends of the points. But yeah, Ichabod confronts the horseman, who actually has a head at this moment, and the horseman has an axe, because Lord knows so many redcoats use big-ass battle axes on the battlefield. I mean, not only were the redcoats standing in straight lines all in a row, while the colonial army picked them off from the frickin' trees back in the real war. Lord knows they had some guy using medieval equipment from the 14th century on a horse, wearing a frickin' wrestler mask. What is he, frickin' one of the Hardy Boys or something? Headless Horseman charging toward Ichabod Crane. You hear a voice in the background yelling, Ichabod, or Crane, or one or the other. He's one of the guys that is going to tell his friends that he was in the pilot of Ichabod Crane, and his only line was, Ichabod, or Crane, or whatever. And so Ichabod freaks out, shoots the horseman in the shoulder, which doesn't do anything but piss off the horseman more, because getting hit with a musket ball in your shoulder has no stopping power at all in this totally loosey-goosey rendition of a short story. Horseman glares through his veiled mask of Iraqiness. Or actually, I want to compare it to the whole Bane Batman thing. Maybe they're trying to capitalize on that. I don't even know. And then charges with his axe of flailing. It's also amusing to note that all the other people fighting in this Revolutionary War are just totally oblivious to this one-on-one battle going on in center stage. As the Headless Horseman gets ready for his killing blow, it zooms in on his face, then zooms in on his hand, and that brand I was talking about earlier. Now we're in, the whole cliche Darth Vader versus Luke Skywalker da-da, da-da-da, da-da, da-da-da, battle, where the two are facing off and everyone else is just oblivious and shit's blowing up around them. Headless Horseman swings his battle axe with the typical swing noise of every metal swinging through the air noise, grazes or hits Ichabod in the center and gashes him. Ichabod reels back, and as the Headless Horseman gets ready for his killing blow, Ichabod picks up a musket with a bayonet at the ground and somehow blocks the Headed Horseman's downward swing at what Ichabod is holding. Then Ichabod, as he's countering, because the Headless Horseman obviously had no aim, and swings downward at what Ichabod's picking up. Headed Horseman has no career in Major League Baseball, I tell you that. he has a golf swing instead of swinging level and lopping off Ichabod Crane's improperly depicted head in the first place. He allows himself to be countered by Ichabod, who swings the musket with a bayonet at the end and lops off the headed horseman's head with a bayonet, which is not used for slashing but actually piercing. So I don't know how the hell Ichabod was managing to cut somebody's head off with a little piece of metal about 1 inch wide. Everybody knows that bayonets are used for straight in stabbing, twisting, and killing like that. You don't swing a bayonet like it's a sword, okay? Everybody knows that. I'm a D&D nerd. You know, piercing and slashing are 2 different damages, okay? I'm just telling you right now. So 2 minutes in, that's what happens. Then you see Ichabod, apparently he's buried. It just cutscenes to him being buried. So he gets wounded by the horseman, and then he's buried, and then he bursts out of the ground in some, like, laboratory, and there's frogs and shit. I don't even know what that is all about. And then he just, like, walks, and then there's a waterfall, and he drinks from it, and then he walks, and then there's a fucking road, and he's, like, looking at it, because he obviously doesn't know what a road is, because he's from, like, the 1770s, and then a Kia drives in, or actually a tractor trailer comes first, almost runs into him, and you're like, oh shit, Ichabod almost got hit by a semi. What's going to happen next? And then some business douchebag driving a Kia floors it around the corner, because that's all businessmen do, is floor their Kias around because they think their Kia is a fucking Mustang. Actually, it just tells us that this show is sponsored by Kia, because no respecting businessman would drive a Kia. They'd probably drive like a Toyota, or actually, hey, why not, a Mustang? And so the Kia goes, almost hits a tree, and Ichabod's like, oh shit, and he gets like grazed by it. And the driver gets out of the car probably to be like, what the fuck, dude? I'm on my cell phone while I'm driving and I almost ran over you. I'm so sorry. It's your fault. That is typical businessman accepting responsibility right there. And Ichabod turns and he runs, and that's where I got so far. So I'll continue watching this episode, and we'll see what actually happens with this show. I already hate it. I'm already not going to watch it after this first episode because it's just so not true to form. You can't just make up a story. It's not only that, it's a short story, and you can't just make it into a TV series, okay? That was my first qualm in the first place. It's like Cinderella. Cinderella. She's gonna be a boy in the mafia, and she's gonna shoot some people, and they're gonna be called the Stepsister Gang. And then she's gonna find, or he's gonna, he. I just went with the she the whole time in this little rant right now. It is a transvestite. And because you gotta throw that in, because, you know, this is the 21st century. Why the fuck not? And so you can't just rewrite a story like that. Already I'm like, oh, this is terrible. So we'll continue watching, and we'll give you a little bit of feedback on how bad this show is, because it's on Fox. La-di-da-di-da-di, la-di-da-di-da-di. Okay, cutscene to a old white guy and a young black chick. Wow, that's actually more Democratic than Republican. I'm surprised at you, Fox. They're walking, investigating something, I don't really care. And there's a fan, and they go to a barn, and there's a horse. Wow, huge piece of symbolism right there. Walkie, walkie, walkie. Cliche lightning storm. I mean, this show is just the cliche of shows right now. Black girl goes ahead. It's always the black person that goes ahead and almost gets killed in, like, every show. Finds a shotty on the floor. The white guy, meanwhile, is, like, in the barn, like, I don't even know, blowing the frickin' horse or some shit, making out with it. Why are 2 cops not totally together in an investigation? I mean, during a lightning storm. I mean, lightning storms are threatening enough, and it's dark out. Those 2 things are enough where you'd want to hold hands and stick together even if you're cops. But you send the black girl to go investigate the crime scene. Wow. That is actually so Republican, I don't even know what to do with myself right now. Send the black person into the line of fire while the white guy stands in safety. You go, Fox. You go. And they find a dead body with a head lopped off. Wow. Can we say headless horseman, anyone? And okay, what the hell? The black chick finds the body, like I said. She radios to the white guy, hey, I found blah blah, which is apparently the guy they're looking for. And the white guy's like, stand down. Typical white guy hiding in cover, giving orders to the colored person. So totally Fox. And says, come out with their hands up, or something like that. Out from behind the horse comes the headless horseman with his axe ready. The white guy just stares down at the headless horseman. There's like this awkward moment, and it's totally the oh shit moment. You know what's happening next. I mean, come on. Cliche, cliche, cliche. The black chick's running back to protect her white owner. The white guy's shooting at the headless horseman. Pop, 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 pop. It's not doing anything. Duh, because Lord knows the audience was expecting it to do anything. We saw earlier how a musket ball didn't do anything. The headless horseman stands there for a second, reveling in the fact that he's immortal. The white guy has this look on his face like, oh fuck. And then the headless horseman slowly walks towards the white guy, and cutscene to the barn door where the axe goes through it. Black chick discovers the white guy. Officer down! Headless horseman busts through the barn door on his horse. Gallop, gallop, gallop. Whee! Looks at the black chick who's on the ground cowering. Oh shit, scared. I'm immortal. You're immortal. They look at each other. And I'm sorry, this show is over. I lasted 8 minutes and 48 seconds. If you really want to watch this show, I guarantee you it'll last probably a season tops. It is a typical cop show. They just try to make it like Grimm or like Numbers. It's like SVU mixed with like every other cop show. It's like, it's just ridiculous. I'm done. Fox is terrible. It's Republican. Let's bring that back. Racist. Let's bring that back. This is Laramay's Laugh, and out. This episode of Laramay's Laugh has been brought to you by Barefoot Red Moscato, California, deliciously sweet, and Budweiser Select 55, only 55 calories. It's a premium light beer. Thank you and have a good night.